Before I begin, due to some unforeseen technical issues, we lost the beginning of the recording. So sadly, everything up until Cressida's introduction is gone. But I do believe we go through a bit of a recap actually in the second episode on the beginning of this one, because I was aware of it at that point. Although another a little annoying problem is that I was not aware that left and right audio were not being recorded the same through my mic. So my audio is all screwed up throughout the first 3 episodes, I believe. But everything after that should be fine, except for a little bit of a music in one of the episodes that I also did not account for. But otherwise, that is the extent of our technical issues, and hopefully we'll have no other major ones after that. But please enjoy, and I do apologize for the rapid introduction into the new campaign. But welcome to the Age of Desolation.
She's decked out in jewels and things all over when performing. But she's a bird. She's an owl with horns that wrap around her head. Um, and yeah, she has bright, like yellow gold eyes. And yeah, she's a coloratura, so that means she's very high soprano, very talented, has been performing pretty much her entire life. So yeah, that's at least that's what
Yes,
she looks
beautiful.
like.
That's fantastic. Yes. You're going through your notes, and you finally hit the last not crescendo, the last major note. And there's an standing ovation from a mixture of the crowd. You can see a mixture of people in the crowd here are obviously they're here because they have nothing else to do. A lot of them do not look good. They have not been through a very good past few weeks, most likely. But this is at least something for them to enjoy. Yes, that is your last note of your last song for a while, and you are able to depart the stage whenever you are ready.
Yeah, I'll probably head to the back area.
All right. So, I believe I sent you your original purpose, your information and
Yes.
stuff for. Okay, cool. I shared with you those things. Just making sure, because I was like, I can't quite remember. You and your accompanist, who is in fact someone who was not as obvious. She is, once she actually makes herself visible, probably more of an oddity than the rest of the races in this crowd, and you. A Lachey will step up with you and head into the
Oh.
back. And she'll kind of give you like a pat on the back and say, "You did fantastic."
Uh, I'll just kind of be like, thanks. You did amazing too. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I try, but I mean, you're obviously a star of the show here. It's pretty obvious. And you are met by your Urian friend, who has his hands kind of like this, down in front of him, as he goes, "Congratulations. Another fantastic performance," he states, and his voice kind of radiates a little bit. And his blue cloak blue jacket with golden embroidery on it, and his embroidered helmet as well, and the blue kind of essence shimmering around inside like the galaxy in his domed head.
She'll kind of give him a curt nod.
Cool.
And then she'll look around to see if there's anybody else backstage.
Um, as you're looking around, Ursa will kind of gesture in a different direction when Xania is not looking. And he goes, Xania, have you seen the cheese? And then walks in that direction and kind of like gestures for her to follow. She's like, what? And you are left to go in the direction that he has pointed you.
Yeah, I'll head that direction and see what's going on.
All right. Um, Standing there is what seems to be a humanoid woman. She has brown, curly, long hair down to just below her shoulders, and she is wearing decently good clothing. She seems to be somewhat um, unscathed by all of the events. She's obviously not. She's not common here. She's a single sidearm on her hip, and she will nod at you as you come toward her. Goes, "Hello. I didn't. I guess I should have expected a Voltaro, but it was a fantastic performance."
Thank you. I appreciate it. Uh, you're supposed to have some information for me.
Yes. Well, firstly, my name is Raya, she says, and will go to shake your hand.
Cressida will put her. Okay, I have a question for you
Mm-hmm.
about Voltaro the race. They have hands, correct?
They do have hands. Their wings just come all the way down, so they
Okay,
can
that's
they
what
can
I
fold
thought.
them up further, closer to their bodies, and actually shake and stuff. But like most of the time, their wings are actually physically like exposed.
Yeah.
Unlike Zellion, they can't tuck them up behind their
hmm
backs, so they also often look like
I just
monks.
I just was trying to picture what it would look
Yeah, no,
like. So yeah.
you just have wing arms only. No, you do have hands.
I'll go to shake her hand. Very gracefully,
Yeah,
having
she
done it
very
many a
like
time, probably.
very solidly shakes your hand. It's almost a little bit of a shock how solid her handshake is. Um, you do notice some like synthetic lines on her right hand that she uses to shake yours. She says, "Yes, the device. Your family, I believe, is interested in an interesting tool that was sold recently. I can tell
Do
you the
you?
location. I don't have it.
All right. Who was it sold to, and where is it?
I can't tell you exactly who it was sold to, but it is located currently at Farside Station."
Is that all you have?
Not just that, and she'll reach inside her coat and take out a small, what seems to be uh, metal carved. I should say it's the shape of a small bird with its wings outstretched. She says, "This will get you in."
Uh, Chrissy will put her hand out to
She'll put it
collect
down.
it. All right.
It is simply a metallic, very, very pristinely made, engraved, beautiful small bird.
Okay. So
Looks
just
as
like a
if it's
little
like on its
figurine.
side and it's just, yeah, on its wings out.
Hmm. Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. And I was told that the original owner of the trinket, if you will, um, just didn't quite know what it was and gave it up.
I see.
So, either way, your family seems interested in it, and here we are. So, I will hopefully see you later. And she says, and begins to walk her way out.
Cressida will then um, put it in one of her pockets for safekeeping and head back to the group.
Okay. You re-meet with Ursa and Xania. Ursa will come up to you first and state, "I would like to state that the supplies are on their way. They should be arriving within the hour."
Very good. Uh, I have something I'd like to talk to you about here, if that's all right.
Yes, of course. States, and I assume alone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, he'll make his way over to a more solitary corner.
Um, she'll then relay the information she got from the informant, as well as hand him the small trinket for safekeeping.
He'll take it. His glow becomes a more of a kind of a thoughtful yellow and green. Fascinating. I believe I've seen this symbol before, but I can't quite remember where.
Interesting. I don't think I believe that I've seen anything quite like it.
I'll have you roll knowledge. As he will do the same.
Seven.
6. You both swear you've seen this symbol before, but nothing comes to either of your minds, and it's obviously upsetting him. It's a master of knowledge that he is, or likes to be, or considers himself at least. This is going to bother me.
Well, hopefully you can figure it out.
You wish for me to keep this, then?
For now, I'll let you know if I need it.
All
It's
right.
supposed to get us into what was the station you mentioned?
Far Side Station.
Okay, the Far Side Station, somewhere there.
Interesting. He'll take it and put it in his
That's all I
hand
know.
and slide it into his jacket pocket. Fantastic. And he'll bring out his data cube and kind of spin it around a couple times and interface with it and write something down inside of it, and then you put it away.
Okay. Anything else happening backstage?
There's some discussion and stuff, and they're congratulating Xania on her performance as much as they were congratulating you, because obviously without the accompanist, what is the singer? But she's taking the compliments fine and doesn't seem to like them a ton. She's kind of like, I'd rather kind of not interact with a ton of people kind of situation.
Yeah. I will go and kind of take the spotlight for a bit for her.
Okay. Yeah. And as you come up, they'll all be like, oh, and your singing was fantastic. And there's like a mixture of, there's a tab back here. There's multiple humans. There's probably a couple others that have gone, like, this isn't a concert, but they got backstage somehow, whatever.
Mm-hmm. I'll just greet each one individually and thank them for coming.
Okay.
Wish them the best with everything. Let them know that I'm sure like there's probably like resources and things for people there.
Resources and such of what kind?
I don't know, food, water, something.
Yeah, there's like food and such here. Yeah, food isn't running so low, as is literally all the tech is breaking. That's kind of like what you are aware of. Things are needing fuel. There's quantum that's very, very necessary, and that's like the main fuel source for the escape ship. And of course, your family's kind of sponsoring this, not event, but this whole relief effort, as well as Trade Federation mixture, as well as some other things. But being that you are now in the Alliance, from the whole Lotus incident, your family offered to support this effort.
Mm-hmm.
So they've also kind of left you in charge of resource management, which probably dealt with similar stuff in the past, but maybe not to this scale.
Yeah, it's probably been a lot. The supplies that Ursa mentioned earlier, was that anything in particular?
You know that they are coming from the Baron. Quantum, food, other mixtures of materials like repair materials and construction stuff, but mainly things to keep the escape ship, the Liberator, active and running, because it has a course set for somewhere that was given to them through a beacon. and they know it to be a legitimate beacon, but they're not quite sure who it was from. But they said that they are in support of the Alliance, and obviously Harbinger do not speak your common language, so it's not them. But this is the best best effort that you got here.
Okay.
And there's been like representatives and stuff have shown like that their intentions are pure and such. There's assumptions that it's legacy, which is a science faction that's kind of been in hiding.
Good. Okay. I'll probably get some stuff together. Where am I staying exactly?
You are probably staying in one of the nearby structures. You wouldn't have a ship here currently. It was probably you got transportation and were dropped off here and were to be picked up later or to go along. Well, you probably wouldn't have gone along with the escape ship directly. Your family would have offered you Voltaro transport, which is significantly better, but fewer in number. So,
Okay. Yeah,
are you
I'll
heading off in that
probably
direction?
head back. Yeah, I'll probably head back to my wherever I'm staying and get changed into very simple clothes, take off all the paint and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you've painted all your feathers to make yourself more brilliant. All right, sounds good. Zany will follow you, and she'll discuss with you just like plans for other events and stuff that she would like to have in the future, and how it was like super cool that you had offered that she come along. But otherwise, yes, as you walk in that direction, I will switch over to someone new.
Okay.
In the marketplace that you are now currently walking through, Tanis. You're currently purchasing some food at one of the stalls, something called a hot dog. You're not quite sure what that is, but it's apparently it's good and made of crap food, which might be in the mood for.
How you Cole. He only eats the finest of meals.
Finest of meals? Well, I'm going to roll.
I'm
See which finest.
I can eat a hot
dog. Okay. If it were the finest of meals, this is definitely not it. But I'll have you describe your character.
Okay. So right now he's like fully cloaked, so you can't see really anything on his body. But he looks kind of like like a stereotypical angel. So he has white hair, really blue eyes, really pale, and then he has Genoan, so he has dual wings.
Perfect. All right. Yeah. Fully cloaked. You've pointed at one of the items and have purchased it, and the guy is handing it to you. And out of the corner of your ear, you hear a feminine voice very quickly say, "Tanis," and you wrench your head around. There's nobody there.
Do I know the voice at all?
You recognize,
or was not able to?
No, you very, very, very obviously recognize this voice. It's most definitely your wife's voice that is not there. You hear the stall guy go, "Hey, pay up. Goo. Food."
All right, I give him the goo. Do I have to subtract it from my?
You're gonna subtract 2 goo from your inventory.
Total?
Yeah.
That's not fair, Cole. You forced me into this situation.
I know.
A crappy hot dog.
I will say, I'm going to have you start with pretty solid 10,000 more goo than you meant to start with.
Oh my gosh, hold on. I thought I saved the...
Do you need the link?
No, I think I still have it in Discord. I just thought I updated my shortcut in Chrome, but I
Oh.
didn't.
The internet seems to be more stable. I'm tempted to swap over. I'm gonna very quickly try and swap over to the other internet, so I'm not having issues. We shall see what happens. Wish me luck.
Can someone else send me the link to
There we go. I am here.
the Google Sheet?
I can send it to you.
I thought I had it. Okay.
Where are you in my direct messages? There we are. That should do it. Does that work for you?
Yep. So you said I have 10,000 total, and
10,000
take away
more.
2. Okay.
BRB.
Alrighty. Very nice. Yes, I don't know what song this is. All right. Yes. Yes. The sound of your your wife's voice very quickly echoing in your ear kind of brought you into a daze for a moment, and then to just suddenly bring you back to spend money. Not the most pleasant of experiences. Where's your head go to when you hear that?
To the right?
I mean, not
Is that what you mean?
directly, not physically. Where's your mind
Oh,
go?
you mean mentally?
Yes. Just thoughts, not like, not. I mean, the specifics, however specific you'd like to be, is how you feel about it.
I just want to focus on my current quest. I want to focus on that.
Alrighty. Yeah, you push it out of your head. It's like, I don't want to think about that right now.
Well, no, like I mean my overall task, my end goal. That's what I meant.
Gotcha. I understand. I apologize. Sorry. No, choked my own spit. Lots of fun. The first thing you see over in that direction where you actually had brought your head over to originally, is that same ship that is sitting here before you. Looking at it. Okay, cool. That's perfect.
Back.
Welcome back. Awesome, thank you. You see a ship here. It looks to be in. Yeah, well, to be honest, it's not in very good shape. This thing is peppered with holes, possibly bullet holes, and it's steaming. Pieces are missing. There's a piece of metal that actually just falls off in front of your face and just gonna. And you're like, oh. This isn't your ship, but you just kind of see it here. It's very obvious, and you originally thought it was maybe a shop stall, but it is very obviously stuck here. It may have been stuck here before a lot of the shops were actually set up, but they were only set up within the last couple days anyway.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
All good. No, go ahead.
I guess I'll walk up and explore this broken down ship. I mean, is there anything I can explore with it, or is it just
The
I'm
exterior,
like
there
watching
seems to
it
be.
fall apart in front of me?
I mean, you kind of walk up to it. It's quite large. It's sizable, I should say. It's like the size of a small house. And you can see what seems to be a Nempateket in the back near the engines, and he's got his hands up inside the machine. He's all mechanoid, bulky, and cubic. And he's got all sorts of equipment and modifications done to him. And as you're kind of looking at him, he'll glance back at you and then slowly bring his head back up into the device and start tearing out the internals. You can see written on his chest is 1 SAC.
It's what? Sorry, I didn't catch
It
that
says
last part.
1 SAC. And his head will again tilt towards you and state, "May I help you?"
Do I know what the one... Can I roll knowledge
Seems
on
to
the
be
one?
his name. I'll just have you say it's his name, most likely.
Oh.
Nempateket tend to
There
wear
was
a designation.
Gotcha. No, I'm just looking at your ship here. Seems to have seen better days.
He'll reach his hand up and a very large piece of the engine's now in his hand. He'll go, "Not my ship."
Someone paying you to work on it?
"Yes, your engine's destroyed," he says, and he calls out, "Bren." Peter.
Yes.
You hear, "Your engine's destroyed," coming from Isaac, who you've hired to repair the thrusters of your ship. You're currently inside.
All right. I guess I come walking out. I'm a, guess, human. I've got armor that looks like it's been made from several different types of armors, just slapdash together. It's many different nations' armors, just all put into one.
Very heavily modified.
Modified or just put there because it got a bullet hole and
Kit bashed together.
kit bashed together. It's not like I've got money to spare or a place to shop.
Alright, yeah.
The only, I'm just a male human with brown hair, pretty tall. Only difference between me and normal and other people is I got gills that look like they were taken off a market.
Very nice. Yeah, you step out of the ship and you can see Isaac is holding a very large piece of one of your thrusters, and he kind of just... It's no good.
I mean, I knew that when I landed here.
Sadly, I can't make it less ungood, he states. You also notice that there is a Genoan standing nearby. He's all kind of covered up, and you can obviously see his wings. He seemed to have been investigating the situation as well. And like I said, your vehicle is very unfortunately parked in the center of this marketplace.
Well, I guess the best we can do is sell the parts and call it a day then. Get us a new ship.
Well, I agree. I mean, you could possibly salvage it. You just need to get it to a dry dock or a space dock where it could actually pull it apart, and he throws it down. And maybe possibly the supply ship will have something that you will need to get it at least into space with one thruster.
Yeah, so I'm sure I could fly this thing again. It's been through worse, I'm sure.
Right. He'll look over at Tanis. You can roll attack or a systems of some kind to see if Maybe I'll have you roll a knowledge to see if you know anything about what this ship is having issues with right now.
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Are you talking to me?
Talking to me.
You're talking to me. All right, cool. D20 plus the wins.
Yes.
You ready for
perfect.
this question every time I roll something?
Every time.
No. Just knowledge?
Yeah.
That's 6.
A 6?
6. Yeah.
There's a lot of 6s today. You are not much of an engineer. This is not usually your forte. Obviously, this thing has been peppered with bullets, energy rifle or energy fire, and any other form of damage it could take is pretty much here, including maybe he flew too close to the sun at one point. But you're not quite sure, and there's no way you know what's wrong with the engine. There's a big piece of it laying on the ground that Isaac took out. You're not sure if that was on purpose or not.
Can I pretend to know what I'm talking about?
You want to. Go for it.
Sure. Is it like persuasion? Do I need to
It's a
roll
deception.
something for it? A deception
Uh-huh.
could end badly.
Do I
Well,
need
don't
to
roll the
anything?
deception yet. What are you saying first?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. I don't know anything about engines in real life.
It's the beauty of
I
making
can
things
just say a
up.
bunch of science words, like in Fallout.
Yeah, like the blue
Carburetor,
highlighted words.
quantum, hyperspace drive has stopped working. No,
Did you
it's
say
probably
that?
a bad idea to try it. No. It's probably a bad idea. I won't do it. I won't try
You won't do it. You kind of
Yeah,
you
not
have
just
something
really.
on your tongue to be like.
Yeah. Instead, I'm still just watching, eating my disgusting hot dog.
Okay, yeah, you can't take a bite of it again. It's like you don't know what this yellow stuff is on it. Kind of not spicy, but it's not pleasant. You maybe heard it called moose tar.
Ugh. It's the worst thing to call mustard, man. Ugh.
During their discussion and your contemplation of what to say, you can see Isaac kind of glances at the engine that's pouring out smoke still, and then kind of gazes into that for a second, and then shakes his head.
The man zoned.
So Nempatech it zoned out.
It's unusual.
How obvious, Tanis, is your special equipment?
Not at all. That's why I'm
Not
wearing
all.
a cloak.
Very, very
Like
hidden.
I
Okay.
like the cloak has a hood,
Mhm.
but I'm not hooded right now. But the cloak covers everything else. Even
Gotcha,
basically like my
yeah,
shoes.
all
Like
over.
it
Do you
rubs
have a-
against the ground. Yeah.
Do you have gloves on as well and stuff like that?
Oh no gloves.
No gloves? Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah. You can roll perception on these people. They can roll perception on you. Bren, if you would like to look over Isaac or Tanis, or Tanis, Bren, or Isaac, however that works. However you guys would like to do that.
Look over Janice. All right.
I'm just gonna ask Bren what his name is. So, Era. Oh man, it's gonna take. And it's
gonna be a
like
hard one to
finishes the
shake.
last bite of his hot dog and like shakes the moose tar off his hands, and then goes to shake Bren's hand, and he says, "Is this your ship? What's your name?" and extends his hand out.
Friend.
But he just
What was that, Pete?
I said the name's Thrin.
nice to meet you, Bren. Can I ask what happened to your ship?
Got in a bit of a scrap with harbingers, pirates. You know the deal.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. Doesn't sound like you're going to be able to get it running, though, huh?
At this point, I'm gonna be lucky if I can get a ride on another ship.
I'm also looking for a ride off this planet. I'm guessing, right, Cole?
Yeah, I mean, you're here just for safety measure because you know that the Harbinger are here, and you probably got here after a trade deal, maybe a little unintentionally. But you know that there is a escape ship that's leaving in like 3 days. That's probably the best way off of here. A lot of other ships don't
I know that?
go. Yeah,
Or-
yeah, everybody knows that here.
Oh, everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that.
Do I know that the resources are running out? Or is that not
Yeah,
mentioned?
pretty much everybody's aware that resources are getting pretty low. Not to the same extent that like Cressida would know, but you've heard talk of resources are getting real low.
Like the NPC? The NPCs in the background?
Yeah, the other folks walking around and stuff. You've just heard their discussions. There's also probably a big board of like when the ship is leaving, things that are needed, things that are full. One thing it says that are full is the hot dogs
Right.
and Moose Tar.
So much moose tar.
So much Moose Tar.
Well, Bren, my name is Tanis. I don't know if I mentioned already, but I'm going to be catching the ship out of here, too. Probably see you there.
Might. See if fortune favors us.
Fortune favors us, my friend. It does.
I heard it favors the bold.
The bold, and that rarely.
Isaac will kind of shrug along with that statement.
I don't know, Cole. What should we do from here?
Well, I will move over to Amber.
Oh no.
You've just finished clapping. The performance is fantastic. She's walked off the stage. You, and Hunt are stepping out. Hunt may have been causing a little bit of a commotion in the back as he snored through most of it. And Canine 5 are not quiet.
My gosh.
But he acts as if nothing has happened, of course. But Tara and Petra, how would you like to describe yourselves as you walk out?
Oh gosh. I'm gonna need to pull up my sheet because there's two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the first one that walks out with the Canine 5, whose name is Hunt, has a little bit more slightly like wavy brown hair. They're both twins, are pretty tall. Tara, the very first one, has 3 like very long scars that come down the left side of her face from her cheek to her chin. She's kind of wearing what you might expect like an archaeologist to wear, and you can see what might be a whip on her belt.
Belongs in a museum.
Yeah. You get maybe some Indiana Jones vibes. Petra, the other one, has like a cornflower blonde hair and, interestingly enough, iridescent eyes, so they're kind of gray and blue and purple and silver. She's a little bit more muscular, but the main thing that you notice is there's gems that are kind of in lines that are kind of tattooed over her eyebrow. and up her forehead.
Are they physical gems or are they actually tattoos?
They're physical gems.
Okay.
And then painted lines. Sorry, I didn't mean tattoos, but they're like painted lines. And they're kind of iridescent too. She's kind of just wearing some like, imagine kind of a hippie vibe. That's kind of what she's doing. It's kind of a hippie vibe. Just some loose fitting pants. She's got some like leather braces and stuff, and some like long or tall brown boots. But yeah, that's kind of their basic description.
Very nice. It's perfect. Yeah, all three of you. It's gonna be weird. All three of you walk out of under the tent, the kind of roof that has been made, and as you are stepping out, you can hear a little bit of commotion off to the left. Hunt is like, I don't know about you, I slept great.
Tara looks at Hunt and is like, yeah, you weren't supposed to. And Petra just kind of rolls her eyes and is like, I'm going to go see what the commotion is. She just kind of starts walking that way.
Okay. Yeah.
Tara's kind of forced to follow her.
As you are kind of going in that direction, I'll have actually everyone here on the world, Valkyrie, the twins, Bren, Isaac, and Tanis. I'm going to have you all roll perception.
Do I have to roll individually for the twins?
You can roll as a pack.
Okay.
As a pack, as a whole.
And you said
Pack of
perception?
Perception, perfect. Yeah.
Do I have to roll too?
No, you are not in the location that you would be.
What's a group
seeing
of?
this.
Well, you want to.
What's the plural for a group of Zolos? Pack.
Pack,
Whole-
Zali.
I got a 3.
A 3.
Cole, you want to guess what number I rolled for my perception?
That one.
A 6.
6?
No. Close. It was a 7.
7.
Hey, I did worse.
Hey, let's go.
Maybe I should have a second roll. Maybe that should have just been a first roll for one of them.
You can roll constantly a disadvantage.
Oh God.
You constantly roll a disadvantage. Just kidding.
No. Good.
Actually, you know what? I will give you the chance here to roll at advantage. There are 2 of you. I will have you do it in every situation, but this situation makes sense. Yes, Bren, I'll have you roll perception as well, and Tanis as well, if you could do that too.
I got a 7.
7.
So...
Wow.
Hey, no, we really are twinning. Hey, instead of twins, we're triplets.
Triplets.
Yes.
That's crazy. I also got a 7.
Quadruplets. What the heck is going on?
Wait, do the canine 5s count to our 6-tuplets?
I find it
I will
funny
roll
that
for
we
both the
both have
canine
5s with us.
3.
100%. What, Cole?
I rolled a 3. And a 3. What the heck is this?
What's going on?
Funny is my dice was
6s.
consistently rolling high earlier when I was just messing with it, and now it's just like, no.
Cole, this is like when Emily had the chance to roll advantage and got 2 nat 1s last night for
I
her
know.
advantage
That was
roll.
insane.
Oh
Anyway,
my God.
Bren, what did you roll? Hopefully you'll break the cycle.
10.
10. It's the highest roll
He
yet.
got combined! He got us combined!
Perfect. Oh man.
That's
I'll
sad.
for Isaac here as well.
Doing terrible.
7.
We're 7-tuplets? I don't know what the plural of 7 is.
Except SEP.
Okay, hey, there we go.
Well, it's fairly obvious, at least to the twins. Bren, you're kind of able to pick up on it. You hear some shouting coming from off on the side, but otherwise the group doesn't really hear too much. Tara and Petra are really the only ones that are, because it is so obvious, I'll have your 7 work. You are able to spot, looking into a crowd that's now forming what looks to be a small brawl taking place.
Oh no.
You see, as it kind of parts, as you both are able to kind of scoot in, and then the Canine 5 makes way for you. He's just like plowing through the group. Says, as he's walking through, "Get out of the way or I bite you." And they all kind of part. You can see a very large Zakon, as well as what look to be triplet Venturi. One of the Venturi's like up in the Zakon's chest, not face because he's too short, and he like pushes the Zakon, ends up pushing himself back more than he ends up moving the Zakon at all. And one of them, they're like starting to kind of move around him. Two of them, one flanks the Zakon with the other one, and he just takes one of the Venturi and just chucks him into the crowd. And he goes, "Woo!" He ends up landing on his feet, surprisingly. What are you doing? Bren, you're able to kind of witness the Voltara, or the Venturi, the Venturi get yeeted.
Oh, buddy, a brawl. He gets up to a higher vantage point to watch.
Yeah, you climb on top of your ship and like...
Haven't had one of these in an hour, 3.
Tanis, at this point, you notice that Bren has crawled on top of the ship to look around. You've been walking away, but you start hearing things, and you're like, huh? What the? Why is he on there? And Isaac is just kind of like... And he starts walking in that direction, because obviously you're paying attention to it now. So, you've alerted the other two there. What are the twins doing?
How bad really is the fight? Like what can they tell? Like, is it pretty serious, or does it look like it's gonna stop?
It looks like it's gonna escalate. You can see that now that one of the Venturi has been thrown, the other two are far more serious. And the Zakon is like, he's just like on guard, waiting for people to come up to him. As one of the Venturi like cycles in on the left, he just smacks him down and then punches the other Venturi like right in the face. And you can see a burn mark is left on the Zakon's fist.
Cool. And he's gone.
And the Venturi
They're
himself
both gone.
is on the ground at this point, but flips himself
Oh
back.
boy.
Oh no, are we
See,
lost?
this was
Also neglected to mention that we were riddled with internet issues on this day. So if there is anything that I do not catch in editing, then I apologize. Back to the hotspot.
Okay. So I heard everything up until you were saying that one of them had like a burn mark.
Yeah, the Zakon has a burn mark on his fist from punching the Venturi down. The Venturi ends up flinging himself back up to his feet again. Now there's actual combat starting. One of the Venturi like pulls a knife.
Oh
and the
boy!
Zakon's like, "You really don't want to do that."
Give me a second. I want to look at
What are you doing? Bren, you're able to witness that Venturi just gets laid out for a moment.
I'm gonna try to stagger the Zakon.
All right. The Zakon.
You're gonna have to, yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna have to remind me how to roll for this stuff.
Stagger
Yes.
causes them to roll.
Okay.
Let me grab the twins here. Stagger.
That doesn't work. I'll use Sky Splitter.
Yeah, so stagger causes them to roll here. Actually, since we
Okay.
have the website page now, I'm going to pull up the Zalo stuff. Just so I have
still
the
have not
information
looked
here.
at. You're good.
Oh, good. Well, you have a chance.
You.
Telepathic abilities. No. Telekinetic abilities. Stagger. They must roll a reflex save versus your power. So you're actually going to roll a power.
Give me half a second to look at their power roll. This would just be. This is Tara.
Yep.
I gotta find power.
It's in
Oh
strength.
look. Yep.
And any associated bonuses with the character as well. Your class.
I got a 6.
A 6?
No,
All right.
no, sorry, 7. 7.
7?
I
That's with a d20 instead too?
Yeah.
A 7?
Yes. A 7. Again.
He gets to roll a reflex. He succeeds on the d20 alone. 17. You kind of, or like I'm sorry, Tara, Petra. Tara goes and kind of shoots out like a blast of telekinetic power, and he gets moved for a moment, and he kind of looks over at you, or looks over at the twins. He states, "They stole from me. Why are you fighting me?"
Tara kind of looks at Petra and is like, now what?
Good job, says the Canine 5.
Hunt, stay out of this.
No.
That comes from both of them at the same time in unison. Stay out of this.
Stay out of this. All right. Are you going to join the conflict?
Yes.
Yes. Roll initiative, please.
Which is just a d20, right?
It's a d20 plus your reflex flat.
Okay. Just flat, just like what it is.
Yeah, I should just say it's the big reflex. It's the head of the skill set.
Amber, so in this case, it'll be your d20 just plus a flat 1.
Yep. d20 plus 1.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is a 5.
5. Okay. That's all good. Is anybody else joining the combat here? Because the rest of you are at this point able to witness everything that's happening.
Valkyrie will.
What?
What?
You like cut out.
Oh, she will not be joining it.
Okay. Valkyrie, you're off to the side. You're witnessing this entire fight. You see a Canine 5 over in the distance who is not quite as damaged. I would say not as damaged, but as ragtag as Agamo is.
She runs to that K95.
Is that my K95?
Yes. She'll weave around the battlefield, but she'll like make her way to that K95 without saying anything to Agamo. She's like, oh, shiny! Run!
You'll sprint in that direction through the field. I'm gonna have you roll.
She was going around the battlefield. She's
Around
gonna
the
make her way
battlefield.
around it. Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
She's
you
not
make your
like
way through in that
not
case.
shiny. She's just like, oh, shiny. Safely make my way around.
Fantastic. All right. Yes. Bren, Tanis, are you guys joining this fight?
Bren is enjoying watching the fight.
All right. Yeah, you can see now
Tanis.
2 Zalos have joined the fight.
Tanis is not, but he does put his hood up and continue watching.
Okay, just
Yeah.
gotcha. Cool. Yeah. All right. And sorry, what was your initiative roll?
A 5.
A 5.
Yeah. I love how I'm the like the one with 2 female characters that are just like, we're on it.
All right. Not going to do this quite the same as usual combat. I'm just using the initiative roll to track what's going on here. Because there's no intent to kill. There's just, I'd say, intent to maim more than anything else. The Venturi, all 3 of them, what you'd assume are not maybe triplets, but they look similar, are all very confused at you getting in on this. You can see a couple of them like have like gear and equipment and stuff on them that is far more fitting and sized for a Zakon.
Okay.
But in this case, it is the Zakon first.
That's dangerous.
He is going to move toward one of these Venturi, and his first instinct is, let me see. his first instinct is to grab the Venturi just by the head, just like, clunk, like stop moving as he's literally like trying to skedaddle out of there, and then grabs a piece of cabling on the Venturi's biosuit and rips it off.
Wait,
And you can
Venturi are the atomic ones, right?
Yes.
No.
Oh. That's an
Fudge.
issue.
Venturi instantly like looks at his arm, which is now gone red because of the suit, like identifying this part of the suit is no longer active, and he's like, and then looks at the Zaycon like, "Are you mad?"
Can my two characters scream because they like grew up with Venturi?
Yeah,
They're
they
like,
can be like,
stop! Don't do that.
he will point at you and say, "This is his fault."
You will blow yourself up.
That's
They
the
literally-
Zaycon, by the way.
Uh,
After the Zaycon's move, the Venturi who has had the damage done to his suit is going to back off instantaneously. The other two are going to circle up in front of that and begin to punch him very hard in the gut. And the one with the knife is going to make an attempt to stab the Zaycon. Now a little bit more intent to kill. The Venturi are going to smack into the abdomen of the Zaycon, who was literally does not care. And then the knife comes down, and the Zaycon will grab the arm of the one with the knife to the point where he literally starts like cracking the material in the suit, and the hand drops the knife. And he throws him down to the ground. It's your initiative now.
oh boy. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
With, oh gosh, which one is it? Whisper, and also isn't it Prod, the one that you can like?
You search into the mines,
Warp.
yes.
Yeah, the one where you can like warp their mind a little bit. How many people can I target with that at one
Mind
time?
warp. Mind warp is 1. You choose a target, and
Rip.
we lost Josiah. You choose a
Yes.
target and bend their mind. They roll a cognitive save, which is 10 plus your base aptitude that they need to beat, which I think might just be 11. And if failed, they take full damage, and if they pass, they take half. But it's only one
Okay.
target, and it's a D4 roll.
Okay. I'm trying to think what to do here. Is there anything I can like lift up and like separate with them that I could like throw down between them that would like stagger them and everybody else?
Yeah, there's other stalls and small plates of metal and stuff sitting around. You can lift one of those up and throw it down between all of them.
Okay. What would that be control surrounding?
Yes. That would no.
What is
Control.
I'm not
object.
using it as a weapon.
That'd be.
And
is
it'd
it
be
control
control.
surroundings?
There's control weapon and control surroundings.
Yeah, control surroundings.
Okay, so what is that roll for that? It is hand to
That it's usually
hand
used
to
as an
hand.
attack. I am going to have you roll it not as an attack, but I'm gonna have you use the same skill, so it'll be an accuracy. It'll be an accuracy to throw it down.
Which is okay. Oh, and I have that bastard.
Yep, which means 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6s are wins.
Gosh, flippin' dang it! I got a 7.
Oh.
We're
What is
doing
up?
fantastic with 7s today.
I need to grab my other set of dice, apparently.
Okay, yeah. I believe it's Petra, right?
Tara.
Tara again. Tara grabs one of the metal plates. I can let you describe how you attempt to do it, and then I can let you know how it actually happens.
Kind of like tries to grab it and like flip it up over them and slam it between them, separating them without hitting anybody. But I'm
Okay.
guessing she probably accidentally hit somebody.
What you actually do is, Tara's going to bring it up, and she'll fling it around and bring it down, attempting to split them up, and ends up just putting a wall behind the Venturi.
Oh, fudge.
You also get Petra's action as well.
Okay.
Also, your Hunt is not. He's not in this combat.
Do we expect anything more out of Hunt, really?
He's just shaking his head as you're doing this.
I know. Gotta love the good boy. Petra's gonna use her scythe. Am I close enough? How close am I to them? To the
How
Venturi?
close would you have tried to get to them?
Fairly close. I would say between 10 to 20 feet.
Okay. I'd say within 15 feet then.
Would I use my scythe to grab them and pull them? Or at least one of them and get it out of the way?
Does have a 10-foot range. I'd say you can move 5 feet towards them. Yeah.
Okay.
And there is a pull action. So, yes, you can go ahead and try to roll a pull. Roll a pull.
Which is?
Let me find this real quick. It's under... I think it's under basics. Or no, it's under action types. Action types. Let me pull this up real quick just so we have the information. Drag. So within 5 feet, which in this case I'll allow because your weapon's within 10 feet, they're going to roll a reflex save versus your grapple. And if you succeed, you bring them 5 feet towards you.
So it's grapple. Let's hope I can actually roll this well this time.
And you're just trying to grab one of the Venturi.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah?
Just heads up, the internet is actually dead.
Yeah, I don't think it's us. I think it's just Spectrum again.
I straight up turned off the router. I'm going to come back to it in a second.
Okay.
I'm actually going to be out here for a second. Would you like me to shut the door?
Yeah, it might be best.
Okay.
Thank you.
I got
Yeah,
a 13 on my grapple.
An 18 on your grapple?
13.
13, gotcha.
Got over a 7.
You able to whip it around, or Petra's able to whip it around one of the Venturi and bring him 5 feet towards you. He's now not back to the wall. Did you hear me?
Now it's the...
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I heard
So
you.
yes. Valkyrie,
So I succeeded.
Yes.
you did succeed, yes.
Yeah.
You run up to the K95. OMG, so cute.
Yes, so cute. Best
He is
pepper.
much slimmer than Agamo. His plates are smooth and rounded. Not perfectly, obviously, and he's in no way like a perfected K95. He's still got pieces and things missing, and just like any. As you run up to him, you're like, and then he'll kind of glance over to you. He's a little shorter than Agamo. Yes.
Hi. I'm sorry. You looked very similar to my friend here, and I just wanted to get a closer look.
He'll go kind of like, he'll make a big U, or like make a big circle. Go, ta-da.
Fascinating. Can I get a closer look?
How close we talking?
Not your internals.
Please, no.
Well, no, I wasn't going to go for the internals.
Exactly.
I just really want to make these comparisons. This show like gesture between like Agamo and him.
He'll look at Agamo. Agamo will look at him like, ooh, you're interesting. Friend? TBD, he says back. Agamo will pull a little bit of a dog move and kind of circle him. He goes, I guess. Look away. Not like look away, but like look away, I guess.
Okay. She'll look away.
No, not like look away, but like look away.
Oh.
Like, just kind of giving you permission.
She'll happily just start doing that, like compare like if like their movements are still the same and like the differences between like their outside armor and things and just like anything that's different from Agamo, she's like trying to find.
Yeah, Ag is a little bit more clunky, I would say, in his movements and how he looks. Yeah. He's ragtag put together, and because of you put him back together.
Yeah.
And he obviously this one is not. He's probably been like this for a while. He even has a couple guns on his haunches that aren't active currently. Ooh. They're like folded up. One of them
she'll
like a
look
tool.
She'll happily look into like how those are like on his body.
Okay, yeah, you can see there's like little mounting structures that are naturally on his haunches. You kind of look over at Ag, and he has the same thing. Seems to be like a Canine 5 specific feature.
Okay.
And you can see they look to be rifles, not like full-blown mounted weaponry. Ooh, excuse me. But you can see like the grip and stuff where if you were to take them off, they'd actually be guns. And he kind of like looks back at you. And he goes, find something interesting on my butt?
Sorry, you have weapons on mounted to you, so I was rather curious. My friend here doesn't.
I can see that, he says.
Yeah, sorry. And she'll like scurry around like away from that, getting the sense that he's probably like, I don't like this. And she'll like scurry around to like another yeah.
Yeah. You kind of like get up to his mouth. It moves, it articulates and everything like that. You know, that Canine 5 don't always articulate their mouths. Some of them have flamethrowers. But he seems to have a kind of a dish structure in the back of his throat where it would maybe open up and fire some form of wave out of it. You kind of like put your finger in his mouth and open it up a little bit. And, like kind of try to glance in, and he's like,
if he bites you, I'm gonna laugh.
Ag kind of goes,
I mean, it would make sense, but to be fair, she's not hurting him, so I'd hope he wouldn't bite her. He's probably just like, get this child away from me at this point.
You're what you're looking for?
Yeah, what does this do in the back of here?
He kind of pulls his mouth away and goes, cling, and like locks it shut. He goes, shields. You break shields.
Oh, that's really cool. She like looks like so. She's just so excited about this. She's just like, oh my god.
As you're like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. You hear fighting raging behind you. What is our Tanis, Bren doing anything separate? Isaac has made his way up into the crowd at this point. He's not fighting. He's just curious.
Tanis isn't doing anything.
All right. Are you making bets, wagers? You can see a couple people swapping some silver and maybe some goo around as well.
I'm not making any bets.
Okay. Bren, you still watching from the ceiling or from the roof?
Yep.
I guess ceiling would be this way, roof is this way.
He's upside down, you know.
You might be able to make it across from your ship to the kind of tent structure. It's rigid, so you could like get on top of that and walk over and look.
Sorry.
All right, roll acrobatics. Roll agility, not acrobatics.
It's my agility. Sure. 11.
11? All right. Yeah, you make it. Your foot slips a little bit as you land, but you manage to catch yourself, and you're like, okay, I'm good. And then you keep going, and then you're able now to like, you're on the top of it, and you're looking perfect view. You can see a couple people are like, oh, I wish I had that idea. You see a Genoan fly up next to you and sit down and go, I like this. And back to the fight. It's the Zakon. One of them is still against the wall. He's doing pretty well. He will grab this one by the chest and push him up the wall and go, are we done yet? And then take another cable and yank it off of his suit. And you can see the entire left side of his suit deactivates. And he goes, you really are insane, the Venturi replies, and he throws him down to the ground and he's running around. Also at this point, Cressida, out of your window, you can definitely see this fight happening. Just FYI. Ari. Out of your window, Cressida can see this fight is obviously taking place now.
Okay.
Otherwise, that Venturi is beginning to make his way off as well, and the Zakon goes to punch the third Venturi, who is now away from the wall, and he unhooks himself from your scythe and runs off into the crowd, and you can see they all kind of group together as relinking the tubes and stuff that were disconnected to reactivate their suits, and they're running off. They've left the gear behind, and the Zakon kind of towards you.
The twins just go like this. They're like,
were you helping
We
me
were
or
only-
hindering me?
I was only trying to stop the fight.
Neither. Very diplomatic. Good. Go away. I need my stuff.
You just see Petra kind of spits at his feet and is like, and then walks away. She knows she's asking
As
for it.
she does that, she will get a glance of his chest heat up for a moment and then die back down again.
Carl kind of turns and looks at him and says, I'm sorry? And then she just kind of puts her hand up for a second and is like, we're gonna leave now.
Good.
She kind of grabs Petra by the collar and starts dragging
We're
her.
going this way. Yeah.
Which is funny because Tara's actually a little bit shorter, and so she's dragging Petra.
Gotcha. You make your way back to Hunt, which has now a small tab inspecting him, and there's now another Canine 5 walking around. She has no idea that you're here. She is trying to get arm deep in his mouth, but is failing.
Oh, my child.
It's like, please let me see. I want to see the device again.
Petra just kind of stops and looks and says, kid, you're gonna lose your arm.
You're gonna lose her life.
She'll jump and she'll turn and be like, oh, does he belong to you? And she'll look between the two.
I mean, more or less, it might be better said that we belong to him. Nice job, Viv.
Correct, he states. They're
It
idiots.
Interesting. Go ahead.
You just see Tara and Petra both cuffing behind the ears for that comment. They're like, really?
I'm sorry. I saw him and I just really wanted to get a closer look. I can leave. I can leave him alone.
I mean, if he's not protesting, neither will we, as long as you're not trying to steal parts off of him.
Oh no! I was looking to see the differences between him and my friend. And she'll point at Agamo.
Both
you
of the
see
girls
a
just
much
kind of
more-
kneel down.
You see much more ragtag Canine 5.
What's his name? Or what is your name?
Agamo.
Nice to meet you, Agamo.
Nice to meet you. You can see his voice box kind of glitch out for a second.
Oh. He has some technical issues. Some
It's
glitches.
been worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a work in progress, and she'll kind of like nervously scratch like the back of her head.
It's okay. We found Hunt when we were 18, and we rescued him. He was forgotten on a planet. Very random planet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I found Agamo as well. He was in a pretty bad shape, but I mean, I got him to work again. And she's like,
That's-
looks really proud of that.
Actually looks very grateful.
Oh. Those look like you guys are quite the pair.
Yeah, he's been the best companion I could ever ask for, and she'll like hug him like around like the neck gently.
He'll like one of his legs will like wrap up around and like give you a hug.
Do they have 6 legs? Do they all have 6 legs?
They all have 6 legs.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. I really need a picture of this to get this image in my mind, because right now I just have an idea of a dog as a centipede.
Dogipede.
Not.
God.
It's
just
not the
dogs.
best image.
No, we have a reference for them if you would like me to send it to you.
That would be great.
They are it's a very bloody reference because his name was Scooby and he was a bloodbath.
He was
Oh,
interesting. He was
It
fun.
was interesting.
I've heard of Scooby. Just never like seen any pictures.
Yes, I'm sending one now. But
Okay.
yes, as you kind of all of you guys have kind of congregated here, Cressida, you make your way into the group as well. The fight is now broken up. The Zakon is still kind of trudging around, trying to recollect his goods and stick them back into his backpack and other things. It was obviously like taken from him.
I was like, Viv, I
There's
see
a
what
Viv.
you're doing.
I would say
Yes.
maybe Tara goes and offers to help, but that can be a side thing that she goes
Okay.
and asks if he needs help.
Yes, and Cressida, you can see the fight is broken up. There's a kind of a group around a couple K95 here, and the rest of the party, or the rest of the ring that had been formed by people is now broken up as well. They're all kind of going back to their own business. A couple people sitting on top of your tent structure.
What? Say it again.
There's a couple people standing on top of your like tent-like structure.
Okay.
Sitting, I should say.
Am I alone or with other people? Like Ursa and...
I'd say both of them are with you. Ursa's kind of behind, and Xania's, she's standing closer to you.
So it seems all broken up. There doesn't seem to be anybody...
Any injuries that were sustained seem to be non-life-threatening.
Okay. I'm gonna... Would I have noticed who was fighting?
Yeah, Zakon, 3 Venturi. Venturi are nowhere to be seen.
Okay.
Just the Zakon now. You can see a couple burn marks on him from them.
I'll turn to him and be like, what was that about?
They tried to steal my stuff, and I wasn't going to let them.
Ah, I see. What exactly were they trying to steal?
He will throw down his backpack, all of his gear, and state, everything.
Well, I apologize that happened. If you could refrain from starting street fights, I would greatly appreciate it. And then I will turn to Petra and Tara. Because they're standing there, right?
Yeah, they're standing there. They're with the 2 K95 and the Tabron that's also poking.
Shady.
What race are they?
They're humanoid. They're both Zalos, presumably.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go up to them and be like, so you were trying to stop this fight? Is that correct?
Petra kind of turns and looks at her and says, "What does it matter to you?" And you can kind of tell there's an air of like authority, but also like stidiness. And the other one kind of elbows her and says, "Stop that!" And she's like,
Forgive me.
"Yes, we were trying to stop the fight."
Let
Well,
me
at least
introduce
I was. This
myself.
one was watching.
Huh?
Say it again.
I'm Cress. I'm trying to help a lot of the people around here, and fighting usually makes people scared and anxious, and I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
We walked out of your concert to this fight. We just wanted it stopped.
I appreciate your efforts. I don't believe I've seen you around here.
We're new. We just got in, actually, just probably a few hours ago, I'm assuming. Cole. Because they wouldn't have
Yeah.
landed that long ago. Yeah. We've only been here a little while. We were out of range for quite a while. For some months for research, and we flew back in and we got some messages from our home planet telling us to dock as soon as we could, that the world had become quite unsafe.
I see.
Or refugees as much as anybody, I guess, at this point, since our home planet is much too far to travel right now.
So sorry. But we do have a shipment coming in for anything you might need. Please check out, see if there's anything there. And Christina will look like over and look at the other people that are kind of standing near there, which is the K95s, right? They're there, and Valkyrie.
Yep.
You can see a mixture of. There's a Nepoteket standing kind of nearby as well. There's somebody on the roof, and a hooded individual as well, a Genoan.
Thought he was cloaked, not hooded.
He is hooded now. He
Okay.
said he'd put up his hood.
I did indeed.
Okay.
Once the fighting started.
So to kind of look everybody over and think interesting. Quite the variety of people. She'll look back to Petra and Tara and say, friends of yours?
No, the only one that we personally know here is Hunt. They gesture, or Petra Petra gestures to the K95, and we just met these two, Agamo and I didn't catch your name, Tabron?
Oh, my name is Valkyrie. It's really nice to meet you. And she'll like wave.
Just sayonara, like.
So kind of wave back a bit. Nice to meet you, Valkyrie. And your friend, Agamo, correct?
Yeah, his name's
Correct.
Agamo.
Do you have places to stay tonight?
Yeah. And she'll
We're
like
okay.
nod her head.
Okay. And after that, Cress will probably just start to go on her way.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna have the telepads, including Ajax,
Uh-oh.
roll a cognitive save.
No.
Wonderful.
Also, quick question.
I don't like this.
Mm-hmm.
How much time do I have left before I have to go meet back with Raya?
It's only been like an hour.
Okay.
You said cognitive save?
Yes.
Wonderful. It's been an hour.
Do I have a cognitive? Do I have an individual cognitive save for? Well, no, their minds are linked. Never mind.
Yep.
It's one.
Together. And Ajax, like I said, there too. The three telepads.
Like group this time. And that is with a d20, correct?
Yes, everything d20. Unless you're crafting at rest.
12.
12. Okay.
Better than last time.
Ajax?
I might need to grab Simon's dice.
Torin, you there?
Lumen, are you awake? I'm wondering if he didn't crash.
He may have.
Darn.
I
You may
think
have
so.
crashed.
I can totally see why. I mean, that's. I get it. I get it.
Gosh,
How-
I thought he
how
was
long-
gonna fall asleep a little bit.
How long was he locked outside of his dorm?
Only about 30 minutes.
Okay, I was gonna be like, if he was locked out for several hours, I can yeah.
No. He could go get a key.
Mhm.
He's okay. But I think he's asleep.
I think he's asleep too.
That
Okay.
or his internet cut.
Alright.
It's true.
I messaged him, but I think he's out. He was awake like 20 minutes ago, but he may be out. Should somebody just roll for him so he has that at least?
Sure.
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. Torin.
Hey, I bet-
Sorry, just if you could do that.
7. We could just assign 7 to him. It's the number of the night.
7. Our crew number is 7 at this point.
Yes,
Huh, I have
If we
a
ever-
It's a lucky number.
this is
At-
true.
If we ever get a ship, we should call our ship the 7.
This-
777.
You're all gonna hate me.
Is it a 7?
Did a 7? Yes.
Cow.
15 in case Josiah wasn't rolling, so
Yeah, so I'll stick with a 7. And sorry, what was your roll? It was a 12?
I think so, yes.
Oh, your camera.
Yeah,
Your camera's wigging out there.
What?
Your camera. Oh, it's better now. Mhm.
We're good.
Mine?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, you're good.
So, anyway,
It was
Sorry,
fine on my
I
end.
apologize.
Interesting.
that is really weird. Sorry, 12? Okay,
Yes.
12, 7. You have a sudden sharp pain in both of your minds, as if it's stabbing into your temples. And I won't explain what happens to Ajax. Kylum, you're on your way back
Sir.
to engineering.
I've currently pulled out a little pocket system and I'm playing a little video game as I travel.
Okay. You are walking towards engineering as you travel.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have your roll perception.
Okay.
Firstly, of course, as you're moving, you feel the ship go, then drop out of warp.
Mhm. I imagine as he feels that, he just stops for a second to brace himself and then and keeps going.
Yep.
Alright. 14.
14.
It's-
Okay, yeah.
It's 7 twice.
There you go. You walk past a window, and you get stopped as this light shines on you. Now you are no longer in warp. You can see the system and the planet beneath you as you guys are starting to move. A massive Forgeborn ship sits in orbit as you guys are actually kind of coming past it. It's a ways off at this point though, but its golden hull still sitting there, radiating a protective presence.
Kylum just kind of puts his hand against the window. He's just
You're like, wow, that's gorgeous. You decide to keep moving on for a moment, and as you do so, you feel the scales in the back of your neck start to stand up. You don't like this feeling,
That would be a creepy feeling, to be
Oh.
honest.
and you look back outside the window again. You're like, there's nothing changed. You see a black point in space begin to spread wider and wider and wider as it cracks open space before you. Clouds pushing out of it, and you can see the nose of something begin to drive itself forward.
at this point,
This point in space.
Kylum is just frozen right now.
the whole ship begins to vibrate violently.
Yeah, Kylem's frozen in both senses of the word, like out of awe and fear.
Yeah, your hands are on the bulkhead, and you can see through this window. And instantaneously, as this starts opening up, there's almost a sound that you can kind of sense and feel as it's just this very deep, ominous pulse as space tears itself open in front of you. And you can see the Forgeborn ship instantaneously starts rotating itself around, and its weapons all revealed, and starts firing at this point. It is almost directly in a line next to your ship as it's flying in.
Which one? The big ship or the Forgeborn?
The thing pushing through.
Okay.
So it's between the two of you.
Wonderful.
And you're not quite sure where this thing is in terms of relationship to your vessel, because you're not sure if it's small or if it's huge.
How far away is it? Do I sense through space?
Roll perception.
Perception? Okay.
I'm gonna have you roll another perception just for distance sake.
Yeah, I'm just trying to how far are we?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, frick, that's a nat 1.
And that one, you have no idea. Your instant assumption is it's huge.
Okay.
That or it's very far away and still very big.
Either way, big.
He's plotting about leaving us on a cliffhanger, aren't you?
You can see the Forgeborn vessel starts to approach in this situation, and you can hear comms turn on over the ship's systems, and you hear the captain go, "Everyone to the safest location you can find, please and thank you. We are going in for an emergency landing." The vessel starts to tilt downwards.
Kylem is... He's still frozen.
Okay.
He's like, oh no. He's never seen anything like this before. Mm-hmm. So he's just awestruck and terrified all at the same time.
Yes, exactly. In just sheer terror, the sense of dread coming over you, this thing keeps pushing and pushing and pushing itself out of space. It's tearing a hole, which is now getting very close to your own vessel as you're able to kind of get past it. They're beginning to kind of descend into the atmosphere. And you know that what your vessel has is almost... it's almost essential for the survival of this colony here. Not colony, but of this relief effort. And you know suddenly that this might have all been for naught, because this is a Harbinger ship, and you are 100% certain of that.
Kylem starts, as we're flying by, because he feels like it's getting closer, he literally tears it down, and he starts running.
All right. Are you heading towards
Yes.
Okay. You're sprinting towards engineering. As you do so, you're running past another large window, and you're just you're trying to book it as fast as you can. I'm gonna have you roll an agility.
Okay. That's a nat 21.
Ooh, very nice. Yeah, you're pulling on something that you didn't know that you had.
He peeled out away from that window.
Oh yeah, once you finally broke that lock that you felt you had, that fear had overcome you, you kind of broke it and just boom,
I imagine
shockwave as you're running.
I imagine the fear is no longer paralyzing him as it is propelling him.
Exactly. No, that's perfect explanation for it. There's a corner that you have to take, and instead of sliding past it, you're able to grab the corner and then run with it. There's a person that you run past who watches you run past very quickly and says, "Get somewhere safe." As you know, is one of the other crew members.
Yeah.
And you're still continuing to run. There's another window that you pass. You can see this thing is now almost halfway emerged. And it's you have no idea how much bigger this thing is, but it's almost entirely taking up the side view of this window.
How big is this How big's the Forgeborn vessel compared to this?
You can't see it anymore.
Oh, that's lovely.
Oh.
All you can see are white flashes kind of coming over it from the light that seem to be weapons fire. And your own vessel is shaking every once in a while as things are being shot at and dished back and forth. And you're able to kind of get fairly close to engineering at this point. You're able to see it. And finally, you check through the window one more time. You can see the Forgeborn ship is coming over the vessel. And it is a quarter of the size of this thing.
Oh.
As it's almost finally fully emerged, you can see the back end of it now. All this stone-like structure, jagged, pointed. I will send a reference for the ship as it's emerging. Let me find
We're all gonna die.
First episode, all characters die.
The end.
And that is the end of the season.
Wow, that was fast.
Oh,
But-
Cole, I want to build up a backup character just in case.
But that begins to emerge. Those of you who are on the planet's surface, you have seen now what seems to be a black shadow emerging from nothing, seemingly. And it's now casting this gargantuan shadow over everything at this point. You can see what seems to be blips of white and golden light. As you can see the Forgeborn ship, which is also visible in orbit, move over and seemingly is trying to defend something. Cressida, you've gotten a notification that the cargo ship has arrived. But it was definitely not that. People are starting
It's like
to scream
that
and
rogue
run.
ship.
What was that? Sorry, Cole?
I
Sorry.
said people around you are starting to scream and run.
Okay.
Cool.
It'd be really funny if Cressida never uttered a bad word in this entire campaign except for now. Or like once in this campaign, just like, and everyone's like, oh!
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna look to Ursa and be like, all right, what do we do now?
I'm going to be completely honest. I wasn't expecting this. Evacuation? Get to the train? That would be my suggestion.
All right. I was really hoping to get that information. Or get that thing that they wanted, but they could wait and proceed to follow Ursa's evacuation plan.
Okay. Yeah, he's like trying to direct people like the train is this way, the trail and the track is this way. Please head in that direction. Leave anything you can't carry and leave anything too big that'll weigh you down. And he's kind of trying to direct people. There's a person who's like running off in a different direction. And you can see he glows bright for a moment and they turn around and run the other direction. As he's
This
effectively
guy again?
just
What
reached-
race?
He is a Urian.
Okay. Makes sense.
I can also send reference to that as well.
Current color in his helmet?
A little yellow. Like fear yellow. Like he's
Wonderful.
got a sense of fear about him. He's not physically displaying that. But otherwise, yes. You can see the big ring around his back starting to kind of twirl and move around as he's shifting and like trying to direct people in different directions. Your friend is also just as confused about what's going on. Xania. I said it earlier just fine. Xania.
Zania. It's
Zania.
Zania.
She like gets up close to you and is like, I didn't think this would be happening.
think so either. But here we are. Try to stay close.
Ursa will return to you once everybody's kind of in that direction. The remainder of you guys are kind of all still in this zone. He states, there are still supplies to ensure are not destroyed. That ship, if it lands, we may need to assist.
Our
Says it
pets
to
are
me.
on the ground right
Yes.
now, by the way.
What'd you say, Amber?
The twins are on the ground because their minds got, like, wrecked.
No, it was only for a second, and we were like, ah, and then it was went away. It was just a
Okay.
sharp
So it
pain,
was
and then it
destroyed.
vanished.
Okay.
Who's all left around here?
Everybody here.
So,
for
Brent,
Hi.
people who are on a ship.
on your tent, a nip attack at a bird person.
Cole, is Raya anywhere to be found?
Raya is not anywhere to be found.
Valk's running for that ship. For Raya's ship.
Directly that way?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you don't know if Raya would actually be in that direction.
No, but it's the safest place that she could think of immediately.
Okay. Yeah, I
To
mean,
find her again.
roll. I'm gonna have you say that you know where the ship is parked.
Yep.
The main parking location, say, is like a half-hour walk away.
Jeez.
It is not close.
Yeah.
Cress is gonna point to all the people in the vicinity, being like, you. All of you. Come with me.
You see Petra's back go straight and like, really? And you just see Tara just reach up again and grab her collar and be like, walk.
Valk is gonna like look at Chrysidia, look at the way that the ship is, and do that a couple times. And then she'll follow Chrysidia, realizing how far it is. She's not happy that she may be leaving Raya, but
Bren's just gonna lay back in the tent, just be like, you know what that is? Garbage.
Can I
We're
turn
dead.
around and mind probe him? Can I probe him? Like whisper speak and be like
you
in
can
his
whisper
head.
to him. Yeah, you can whisper to him.
Be like, I would move if I were you. You might want to help. Can I just scream mentally just to see if he jumps?
Cress is gonna say very loudly, which she can do. If you don't want to die, you better come along.
Yeah, there's like a shockwave following that statement.
Tannis agrees to come along. He's flying around at this point.
I feel like Tannis is, or Bren is the era of this campaign so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not want to play it.
So he's got to get some convincing here. He's got to be convinced. He's convinced he's sticking. He's dead.
Can I didn't we decide a thing that there's a way to control, like, pick up people mentally and, like, float them?
You
I
can
did
use
that.
control surroundings on people, but they have to roll a save.
Can I try that? To kind of, like, try to, like, fling him towards us?
Yeah, you can use control surroundings. Roll, I believe it's a power.
Where is it? Okay.
Control surroundings is going to be...
Sorry, I was on Torrens one. Accuracy? As a skill?
It's in this case, I don't think it's going to be accuracy. I'm going to have you roll a power versus his strength save. So go ahead and roll a strength save.
Me?
Yep.
Oh.
She's attempting to telekinetically lift you.
That's not a good sign.
I did roll. I was supposed to roll, right?
Yes, that's what he has to beat.
I got an 18.
Ooh.
Yes. I got a 10.
Yeah. You were unexpected, laying on your back, and you're like, "We're dead. We're dead meat, man. We are so dead." And then as you do so, you are now no longer laying on the ground. You are being lifted vertically as you're like, "We're so dead."
Oh
Whoa.
no.
And I assume you bring him down to your level.
Yes, I bring him down till he's right in front of me and be like, I can continue to do this for quite a while.
Alright. Alright, go.
And I just pick him up and just start walking. Like one of them grabs arms, the other one grabs legs, and just walk.
Just like lift that way. Yeah,
Yes.
I would say that's possible. You're not
Okay.
super. Bren's
He'll
not super
walk by
bulky, is
himself.
he?
Yeah, he's tall, strong. Yeah, he's bulky.
Okay, he's bulky. So you guys are like,
Maybe Hunt like goes underneath him and they just lay him kind of on Hunt and they just walk.
Hunt will get underneath
Cole will
him like a
survive if
seat.
you. Cole will survive if Brennan will survive if you want him to, but you're gonna have to make him survive.
Yes, Bren, you are now on the back of a K9-5. Valkyrie, you can see Agama will run underneath as well and also be a secondary lift. So now you're laying like this, kind of like half, because Agama is a little taller. And he's not accounting for his height difference. And he,
Valka's just
looks
so
over at
happy
the
that
other
Agamo
K9-5.
just helps.
You're being stretchered down in that direction. Nice. Back on the ship.
Okay.
You are finally at the doorway to engineering. And as you can see, you are starting to head down into the atmosphere now. The Forgeborn ship is coming with you, like defending you the best that it possibly can. And you can see beams of energy are flying over its hull and piercing straight through it. And one of them strikes your vessel as it pierces through the Forgeborn ship. It obviously wasn't meant for you, but it hit you anyway. And as you can see that, it pierces through and then continues to slide its way through the center point of the Forgeborn ship's hull, and a second beam spreads it apart, as 3 or 4 of them are now is in a disc, spinning through the hull of the Forgeborn ship. And you can see pieces of it are separating consistently as it's severely outmatched. Parts of its hull are now beginning to erupt into glorious light and beginning to obviously affect your trajectory.
Yeah.
You make it into engineering at this point.
I imagine the doors are closed. He books up to it and just slams the button to open it.
Yeah.
Just...
The door opens up, and you can see inside it, Gresham is like lifting something up and holding it inside the device that you guys were working on earlier. As you can see, whatever it was that was pulled has detached something very serious inside the machinery.
Right.
Okay.
He runs up and he goes, Gresham!
No talk! Get in there!
I climb on Gresham real fast and leap into it.
He'll kind of lift you up as you do so. You can see his massive multi-tool sitting on the table behind him. And you're able to get inside it, and you can see that it seems to be the power conduit has been separated from whatever thruster system is in here.
Kylan quickly slips on his goggles. And he says, alright, what do we need to do?
Reattach it!
Okay, I take a look around. So I'm finding the end that needs reattaching, and okay.
Yeah, you.
How does it need to be reattached?
You have to lift it back up and then slide it, kind of lock it back into place onto the main power conduit system.
Okay. I lift it up and try and slide it on.
All right. It is also currently active, so there is sparking energy out of one side of it. I'm gonna have you roll a craft.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay. 19.
19. Fantastic. Yes, you're able to kind of take it and lift it and prop it up on your knee and push it into place. I'm going to have you roll a strength save really quickly.
Okay.
As the energy's arcing out from this major conduit.
Are you kidding? That's a nat 1.
Oh. Dang.
It's a bad moment to get a
Oh, no.
a crit fail.
We were doing so good.
You take 10 points of shock damage directly to your health.
Okay.
But during that process, you're able to, as you're like literally arcing up your side, you like lock it back into place, and you hear something go, and part of the systems begin to boot back up, and you can hear one of the main thrusters go and reactivate. And he goes, "Good job, Quilem."
As I try and get out, I try and collapse a bit, and I try and scoot over toward him.
You kind of fall out of this thing, and he catches you just directly in his arm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's gonna look you over for a moment and go, "Oh, I think you'll be all right," and then kind of sets you down and locks you into a chair. And you begin to feel the ship is now furiously shaking, as something very bad must have happened up front, as you are now entering the atmosphere at high speeds.
I look at Gresham like, what's going on?
He goes, I don't know. I think something hit the ship. And he's going to try and get into his own seat.
I remember quickly, and I say, what? One of the beams! I saw it strike the ship!
That is very bad. And you can see that now the interior, as you were looking through the windows on the exterior of the engineering hall, you can see flames are ripping past the windows as the ship is now plummeting downward. Those who are on the ground still, you only see a speck at first, and then it begins to grow and grow and grow, and you can see the unfortunate cargo ship plummeting towards you. You can see it's going almost straight down at first, as its main thruster systems in the back seem to be failing, like atmospheric thrusters. And it then quickly has a boot back up, and it begins to try and raise back up again, as a piece of the Forgeborn ship begins to come down and literally take, I'd say, like a good third of the front of the ship off. It almost doesn't even affect the trajectory of the ship, as it just goes perfectly cut. The front half of the vessel just starts to plummet down first. You can see it drops down behind what seems to be a mountain structure, as the main rear hull of the ship begins to plummet downward, and it hits and carves its way into one of the rock faces of one of the nearby kind of, not cliffs, but hills, as you can see it now sitting just, and small explosions occurring on the sides of it, and then a very large dust cloud where the other part of the ship landed. Those of you who are on the ground, there's an intense shockwave as the air from it hits. Are you heading toward it?
Yeah.
Brad just whistles from his seat.
Well, they're dead.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say we drop Bren. We just literally let go of him. And the K95s, I'm guessing, just duck out from underneath him. We just let him hit the ground. We look at him and say, if you're gonna be a useless sack of potatoes, we're gonna treat you like a useless sack of potatoes. We're gonna leave you here.
Or I'll bite you.
Goodbye, potato. Still way back.
And they just keep walking. They start sprinting. The twins just start like sprinting.
Okay.
Valk
You're
will
able to
sprint after
sprint,
the
and as you're
twins.
sprinting, you're kind of able to boost yourself forward using your telekinetic ability. The other one starts to fall behind, and then a boost from her as well, and the other one slows down, and they start to kind of like push back and forth again as you're using their telekinetic powers to move faster. Tanis. I imagine you are flying toward it.
I'm flying. Yep, I'm flying right towards it. Following
Alrighty.
everyone.
I'm going to have you roll an acrobatics.
All right.
What color are Tanis's wings?
They're white.
Nice.
White hair, white wings, very pale.
Okay.
Probably blue eyes.
I just had to ask.
Oh. 4. I think we
Oh.
need to go dice shopping again, Cole. Need some different dice.
You should do it. Get some Tanis dice, man. Some gold and white ones or something.
Evans. Yeah, I got a 4.
Okay, 4.
Oh, wait.
Gotcha. Oh,
Hold on. I didn't roll my...
Nice dice.
Your d6s.
I got a 5.
Nice. So you're able to kind of almost navigate through these new like streams of hot and like new forces in the air, and in doing so, you're actually brought down. You don't crash or anything. You have to land, as the forces of all of this wind and shockwaves and stuff are just bringing you down. Everybody's making their way forward, and Isaac, you can see, is just like perfectly running next to you. And he ends up kind of helping you up and pushing you forward. You can see the rear end of the vessel as you guys are running toward it. Near, I guess I should say, the back 2/3 of the ship. One of the cargo holds on the side of it, you can see large cargo containers and such. One of them erupts outward as whatever fuel contained within inside of it has obviously caught fire and exploded outward, taking a majority of the hill with it in that direction.
Oof.
Oh, man.
And again, the heat just washes over you if it wasn't hot enough already. Eventually, within the next couple minutes, you make it up to the smothering remains of the back 2/3 of this cargo ship, the Baron. You can see Aaron, the back half of the name, remaining on the hull. Kylum.
I open my eyes.
Yes, you have been through a very traumatic experience. Hellish. You are pinned underneath multiple pieces of debris and metal. You don't think that your friend Gresham ever made it to his seat.
Can I, like, while I'm pinned, can I, like, turn my head and try and find
Roll perception.
anything? Okay. 9.
9. You weren't quite sure what... There was a mass of something up above you here, within the rubble. Even with a 9, you start to realize that there is dark white and bright orange fur supporting metal above you. And he is looking down at you and makes eye contact with you and goes, "Phew! At least we're okay!" And that's where we'll end for today.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Wonderful.
Oh, are you awake now, Torin? I just heard
No.
him. Hi.
I'm alive.
You
Hello.
totally zonked out.
Mm-hmm.
Josiah rolled a nice 7 for you.
On a con save.
Cognitive save.
Yep.
Yeah. All good, dude. I understand. I can fill you in on it later, if you would like.
Please.
I will. But yes, that is the end of the session for now.
Evil.
Damn.
Just evil.
Ah.
From a world with hot, desert-like plains with no moons to a hotter world with rubble scattering its surface and a moon over its surface. That's where we end.
Yeah.
Really.
So, I hope you guys
Yeah, I shall
enjoyed
talk
that.
to y'all later.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
Good night,
need to
Torin.
sleep.
Good night,
Yeah.
Torin.
Night, Torin.
I'm heading out too. Have a good night, everyone.
All right. Good night.
Good night, Arthur.
I'll see you later.
Good night.
Thank you all for joining. Appreciate you sticking around for session 1, even through all of our tech
Yeah.
weirdness. Hopefully, we'll not have that next time.
Yeah.
You say this.
Yeah, I
but-
say this. I will see you all next time in next
Except
Tuesday.
for me.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Bye.
No, you see me sooner.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's gonna be nice to have weekly sessions again.
It will be.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll see you guys in like 2 weeks for this. 'Cause I'll be up in the cabin in the middle of the woods. Kind of.
Oh,
Very
that's
nice.
fun.
Camp out most and counseling.
Nice.
Anyway,
Exactly.
I will end it there for at least recording what would have been streamed. So thank you all for joining.
Yeah.
Bye.